Welcome to Stadium BS. For more information, check out www.castellonms.com.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are around the world. This is Frankie Castellon. I am the host of Stadium BS. Take a look at my website, www.castellonms.com. I have everything Frankie, including my hair follicles and the kitchen sink. Take a look at it. You might get a good deal out of me. If you want to even reach me, castellonms.com. If you want to do the survey to get yourself a free hat, castellonms.com. If you want to get something at a good deal, maybe through resale or even some of my own, designs and merch from Castellon Motivational Standards, Stadium BS, etc., castellonms.com. I will not disappoint. Trust me. Just take a look at it. It's a Linktree. I know that. But it has everything to the point. It also has plenty of resources from not only videos I did in the past, whether it be Reels, whether it be TikToks, whether it be YouTube videos, in addition to all my guests' information. For example, Infamous C, the Freddie Says podcast, Evan Weiner. I do have all their information on castellonms.com for you to understand further my guests, maybe get to know my guests, even, get a song, get a lecture, participate, or even listen to the Freddie Says podcast. Whichever. It is all there for you at your reach at castellonms.com. This episode is sponsored by MiLB's Cookies. MiLB's Cookies are some of the most delicious cookies on the planet, and I have a special deal for you. Listeners of this podcast will receive 10% off any item when you go on the website at MiLBs.com, and you can use my promo code. My promo code is all one word, Stadium BS. You'll see that on the screen. All one word, Stadium BS, for 10% off any item. MiLB's Gourmet Cookies bring creative, unique cookies straight to your pantry. No cookie shop required. With bold, unforgettable flavors, they're the ultimate treat for any occasion. Enjoy my exclusive discount, which is promo code Stadium BS, all one word, for 10% off any item. I will be talking with Ian from the Hub City Spartanburgers. He was a very nice guy to interview, gave me some insight on not only the history behind the Spartanburgers, but all in all, the experience of going to a Spartanburgers game. The food, the stadium experience, the contributions to the community. It is unbelievable. And I am wearing a Texas Rangers hat right now. I also have the logo of the original Spartanburgers summer collegiate team from the Coastal Plain League, combining, both worlds in one to make the Hub City Spartanburgers. So it's kind of unique, and it's custom, and it's cheap. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Give a like, subscribe, review, whichever. And I'll see you on the next one. I will be there for the ending of it and give you my closing statement. Enjoy the interview. God bless. And I'll see you at the end. Stadium BS is back in the house. This is Frankie Castellon, www.castellonms.com. Take a look at previous episodes, merch, everything. You know the drill. I have a special guest today, and I'm very excited about this one because I love going to minor league games, and I have Mr. Ian from the Hub City Spartanburgers. Ian, how are you today?
Doing well, Frankie. It's a pleasure to be with you, and it's pretty crazy to think that in just over a month, pitchers and catchers are showing up to spring training, and then come April, we're going to do this thing all over again.
And that is way too exciting. I can't wait. I'm going to tell you my experience real quickly with the
Yeah.
Spartanburgers. So when they announced the name and all that, I was like, I think it was like January. It was like around a year ago today that tickets went on sale for opening night, and I was like, you know what, I gotta buy my ticket. So I bought my ticket. I made sure to go there, and I repped this hat when I did, because the merchandise wasn't out yet. And I had a ball, and it was a sold out crowd. It was just so much fun. I really did enjoy it, and I went with my kid later on due to free tickets that I got from some sort of sweepstakes. I took my kid over to it. She enjoyed it. She loves her the reason, and she always mentions Spartanburger. She doesn't even mention Drive. She mentions Spartanburgers. And the reason for that is in the front of the stadium, there's a bobblehead. There's this big bobblehead. So, like, my daughter's 6 years old. So she loves to bounce the head around and doesn't want to stop. And it just drives me nuts. It's like, can we watch the game? No, I want to play with this. Anyway, Ian, I got a few questions along the way. And my first question is, how did the inception of the Spartanburgers first year, before that, how did everything come up with all this plan to make Spartanburg have a baseball team in about since last 30 years?
Yeah. So Spartanburg is, as you know, Frankie, but I think some people might not know, has a long and rich baseball history dating all the way back to the late 1800s, early 1900s. American Legion teams were playing here. The Spartanburg Sluggers, a Negro League team, were playing here over at Duncan Park. And the Spartanburg Phillies played here for upwards of 30 years, right? There have been great players that have passed through Spartanburg, playing for Spartanburg's teams, playing against Spartanburg's teams. But there are World Series winners that have stepped foot on a field maybe 10 minutes away from where I sit now here at Fifth Third Park. So that lineage has always been there. And community leaders, namely Jordy Johnson, who heads up the Johnson Group, a big development arm downtown, as well as Jerome Rice, the mayor, and people with One Spartanburg, which is our Chamber of Commerce. They were all super in to bring baseball back. And as we've seen around the South, minor league baseball is an economic driver. When you have a stadium, you can not only have baseball games for the summer, but you can bring in conventions, you can bring in concerts, you can bring in so many different things. So it wasn't just to bring baseball back. That was a huge part of it. And I think the success of the first summer has already showed how much people appreciate having a hometown team to cheer for. But also over the offseason, we've had so many cool events. We've had a trick-or-treat event here. We've had Christmas parties, all sorts of stuff.
We went to it.
Yeah, it's all fun, and it all shows you how a ballpark like this can be used as such a multi-level space. And that's I think that really gives you the overarching picture. We want to use this ballpark as a Kickstarter for some real growth and development in Spartanburg to really, help downtown and help keep this place growing.
And it's gonna redevelop before you know it. I'm like, I already have a feeling that the Denny's building is not going to be the only tall building there. I already have that feeling. So I'm like, the area is gonna grow big time.
Yeah, there's definitely some stuff in the works. You can see the construction going around if you head downtown.
1000%. So last year was an absolute success, player-wise, playing-wise, team-wise. They made it all the way to the championship game against the Brooklyn Cyclones. Unfortunately, they didn't make it. So, which sucks, but you'll bounce back. Okay, you'll definitely bounce back. My question is there going to be a banner honoring this, or is it just basically second, first loser?
I think you get banners if you win trophies. There was no trophy hoisted up by the Spartanburgers. Unfortunately, the Brooklyn Cyclones won it on our field, which stunk a little bit, but I think many of the players were really grateful for the experience that they had. A lot of these guys had played in minor league areas in the past where they hadn't made the playoffs or they hadn't gotten that opportunity. And, you know, the minor leagues are very, very layered, right? You want to win. You want to be successful at your current stop. But at the same time, a lot of these players, their ultimate goal isn't to play high A baseball. They want to play for the Texas Rangers. So there are multiple layers to success. And I think from a coaching staff standpoint, one thing that they were thrilled with was we moved 9 players from high A to double A. Huge success in their eyes. A lot of those were on the pitching side. Thomas St. Clair, our pitching coach, was fantastic. He was recently promoted to double A. Our manager, Homer, was promoted to double A, along with our one of our development coaches, our trainer as well. So coaches get promoted just like the players, and that all flows together. And it's really cool to see the Rangers keeping a core group from last year together. So that in itself was a success. But talking to the players throughout the year, many of them said, when I was playing in the Dominican Summer League or in the Arizona Complex League, we might not have had a chance to really have a true playoff where we go to different places and we play that tense, high energy, walk the tightrope playoff baseball. And some of the guys who were drafted out of high school didn't necessarily have that feeling of the high stakes game, because in high school, a lot of these guys are so much better, head and heels above their peers. And I think the cool thing was we also had college guys on our team that had been in the College World Series. We had 2 Tennessee players, Dylan Dreiling and Cal Stark, who won the College World Series. So they knew what it took to make a playoff run, and they helped out some of the younger guys along the way, and they all shared their experiences. And there were some tough times, right? There was a losing streak at the end of the first half that bounced the Spartanburgers out of a playoff spot. You know, in the second half, there were ups, there were downs. There was a feeling of, we might not make it on the last day of the season. You win the division title in Bowling Green, and then you get on a bus from Bowling Green, Kentucky to Brooklyn, New York. And that's something that's not easy to stomach. And then you get up and play the next day. But those guys through it all were
the grind of the farm.
Oh, of course. And most importantly, those guys through it all they never lost belief, and they loved being around one another. And that made the experience for me and so many other people amazing. And I think when you were at home games and you saw the team genuinely appreciating one another and celebrating with one another and having fun, it made it so much easier for the fans to buy in and have fun and enjoy that experience.
I know that a fellow, there's a few other interviews before you that we praise how the Spartanburg branding came into play. And I know that I have one friend out of Chicago, another friend out of Indiana that are going to make the trip over to Spartanburg for a game because of their the fan experience. I'm wearing a custom Texas Rangers hat that a friend made for me. And right here is the original Spartanburgers logo from 2021 that I got made. Now, the reason why I'm pointing this hat out is the Spartanburgers were originally a summer collegiate team that played in Duncan Park. So tell me the whole process of bringing that branding back and why.
Well, I think it didn't so much have to do with the collegiate summer league aspect of it, although they had a great idea with the branding, and they certainly had a little run there. Collegiate summer leagues are tough. I mean, I worked in a couple collegiate summer leagues when I was a college kid, cutting my teeth as a broadcaster, and sometimes it can be pretty scarce. So I understand their struggles, but they definitely laid a bit of a foundation for us. in our minds, the Spartanburger is, if you're from Spartanburg, you call yourself a Spartanburger. And
Really?
that's, yes, that's one layer to it, but it also is something for everyone. Right. We want to integrate the historical piece of it. And if you come to the ballpark, it feels like you're in a ballpark made for the city of Spartanburg, not for the Hub City Spartanburgers. But if you're a young kid, as you told us about your daughter, you come to the ballpark and you see a giant burger with legs running around. And,
we definitely got pictures of that.
and you see all the fun and there's a bit of ridiculousness, and that's perfectly fine too. But the Spartanburg
that makes it better.
Exactly. The Spartanburgers branding allows us to play into so many different fun elements and the food side of it, right? That makes it a super easy sell. And you combine all those things together, and I think what I'm wearing right here has our Hub City word mark on it. I think is a nice traditional baseball, state of South Carolina. It's a strong logo within itself. So if you're more of a purist baseball fan, you can always bounce back to something like this. But the Spartanburgers branding makes it so much more family friendly, and it makes it so much more fun and digestible for a lot of kids. No pun intended there. But it makes it so much more engaging for a lot of the young ones that come out.
It's bringing a whole different version of attraction to baseball. I'm like,
it's not what you see with other minor league teams in South Carolina. I think you can easily say that.
1,000%. Speaking of burgers, when I went to the first game, and me like a fool does not eat before I go there. I'm like, because I have so much going on, and I still do. So I said, okay, let me go to the burger, and I didn't know it was self-service. You just grab and go and all that, which is great because you're hungry, you just want to get it now and over. And I got me the helmet burger, and it had the 2 burgers, the fries. It was 2 double burgers, the fries, and all that. And I was just very hungry that night, and I tasted. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me! This is so good." I praise the burger left and right. Like whenever I go there, I always get a burger. It is delicious. It's one of the best in the upstate, in my opinion. My question to you is, how did you get this culinary aspect out of this? Like, how did you make the burger so right?
So I think first and foremost, Oakview Group does all of our concessions there. We have a whole unit. Their arm in-house is a fantastically run group. They handle everything from the peanuts and the popcorn to the food in our Milliken Club and all of our suites. They're over everything, and they've done a fantastic job. And all around the ballpark, one of our focuses is staying local to South Carolina. Right, the bricks and the cement in the ballpark and the steel is from South Carolina. The food and a lot of the ingredients that we end up bringing in are local ingredients. So I think that you're not getting something off a truck from who knows where. Right, everything that's coming in here is local, and it's well sourced and it's well thought out, and that makes a difference, especially when as you said, you want to get back to your seat, hang out with your kids, watch the ball game. So we make it quick and easy for you, and we let you get in and out and grab what you need and go. But I think we also have the element of the burger bar, which also offers, I think, something 9 nonillion topping combinations if you wanted to get that.
It's humongous.
I mean, we've got
with a big burger on top of it.
Every hot sauce known to man, your basic bacon, lettuce, tomato. In Spartanburg, the big thing is the chili cheese aplenty, or the chili cheeseburger. They like to and there's some freaky stuff too. There's peanut butter. There's cereals. There's carrots and jelly, and I don't know. That's not stuff I would be putting on my burger, but there are some people that enjoy that. There are some people that want to get outside the box. So we've got something for everyone. And at the end of the day, if you are just going to pick up a hamburger, it's going to be a good quality burger, but you can do it up any way you want to.
That is awesome. And I tell everybody, I say, go get the burger. Go get the burger. It's out of this world. And
We actually sold more hot dogs than we did burgers last year. Fun fact.
That makes sense.
But I think a lot of people still do appreciate the burger. If we're going to be named Spartanburgers, we have to have a good burger. It'd be a crime.
A very good burger. Yes, you got to back up that name. You have to back up that name. So yesterday was the calendar release.
Yeah, the promo schedule.
And they basically, you're going all out. You guys are going all out with alternate identities. You're going through different jerseys. I'm like, one in particular I saw was the Rangers night, the action, like it's a wrestling night technically.
Yeah.
That had if you haven't looked at it, I'll probably put a picture up on the video. One that looked like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mm-hmm.
The vest and all that it looks pretty cool. And then the backwards. Basically, what is the primary goal for these alternate identities, the jerseys, everything? What is the primary goal for the fans to witness this?
Well, I think our promotions manager, Wyatt Sutton, puts it best when he says that we want to have something for everyone. That's our goal. We've got 66 home games. Fingers crossed we get a few playoff home games as well. And the goal of those 66 home games is to have something unique and fun and maybe a little off the wall every single night so that you can attract different groups of fans, maybe for Star Wars night, maybe for Rangers night, maybe for backwards night, whatever it may be.
The rivalry one I like.
Yeah, of course. We got
the house divided.
Yeah, Clemson, South Carolina themed uniform. So I'm sure there will be some people that only want the orange side, some people that only want the maroon or the garnet side, and they can do what they want. But
yes,
with all these promotions and these nights, we want to make sure that everyone who comes to the ballpark has something they can latch on to, whether it's the music that's playing in between innings or the promotions on the field or the giveaways beforehand. We're doing our first 2 player bobbleheads this year. We've got an Arturo Disla Buffalo themed bobblehead because that's his nickname, the Buffalo. And then we've got an Anthony Gutierrez Big League Chew bobblehead where Anthony would always, he'd have the gum in, he'd be blowing bubbles. There's a picture of him from last year in middle of an at-bat, bat on his shoulder, and he's got this big old bubble of gum that he's blowing. So that's the inspiration for that bobblehead. But those are something that, fans love the bobbleheads. They love the collectibles. So really excited to put those out this year as well. And just make sure that everyone who comes to the ballpark has something that they can latch onto and they can enjoy.
That is amazing. Speaking of I'm like, this video is going to get premiered, I'm going to say maybe first or second week of February. So it's on the midst of spring training. This is something to get excited about. Now, we're filming this January 13th.
Yep.
And the reason why I mentioned this is because I looked at my email and there's apparently a reveal tomorrow, the 14th.
Yes.
And I know that I'm going to be a little nosy, but can you give us like a little hint of what this reveal is going to be? Especially since it's a hat.
Sure. So it's a full alternate identity. So for those of you who might not be familiar with minor league baseball, alternate identities are a complete makeover of the team branding for one night. So we've got 3 separate alternate identities this year. One is the one we're unveiling tomorrow. It's military themed. It's got a historical spin to it. We'll be unveiling another one in February, and then we'll be unveiling our COPA identity, Copa de la Diversión, which is minor league baseball's initiative to celebrate Latin and Hispanic communities throughout the country. And of course, we're going to have our first Copa Day on Cinco de Mayo. How that? So we'll have one alternate identity released in the 3 months, each of the 3 months coming up to the season. And since this is America's 250th anniversary, and it all lines up really well to have a military themed alternate identity, which is coming out tomorrow.
The fans are gonna love it. Yeah. I'm like, I've lived here, I'm gonna hit 12 years, and it is a very, very American pride area. So it's
Yeah,
going to be
and
a hit for
if
sure.
you do your research on Spartanburg's military history, you can start to connect the dots on where we're going with it. That's what I'll leave you.
I gotcha. That's something that I gotta look into because I'm a history buff. I'm always one that always likes to research the area I live in. I'm like, I lived in New York. I know the history behind the Yankees and the Mets.
Mhm.
When I moved to Tampa, I started getting to know the history of the Tampa Bay area when it came to spring training, and then later on the Tampa Bay Rays. When I moved out here, I did my homework about the Greenville Drive, the history behind it, how they developed that area, and now Spartanburg. When the Spartanburgers came into play and what impact is bringing to the area. Speaking of impact to the area, one of the promotions you have is Duncan Park. You're actually
Yeah.
doing a giveaway for the a replica of Duncan Park, which I gotta like lay out the calendar and see which ones I want to go and take off work. That'd be great. But I know that's going to be a big impact. I saw when I went to the Halloween thing with my family, I did see the Duncan Park seats and the
Yep.
plaque with it, which is amazing. I was because I know I've talked to a few friends about it, and I was real excited to show them, pictures of it, and I was like, this is another reason to come down to Spartanburg. But what was the role of the organization to make Duncan Park whole again and to help out youth baseball?
Yeah. So this year is the 100th anniversary of baseball at Duncan Park, and
Wow.
that is a very, very special number. It's a Spartanburg institution, right? It's stood
Yes.
the test of time. It's served as a place for so many young people, whether it be American Legion or minor league or Negro League or now high school baseball and travel baseball. I mean, there are so many life lessons that you learn through sport, right? I played baseball myself. I learned all those, all the phrases about it's a game of failure and you're only as good as you can be one man, but you're only as good as the nine on the diamond and all this sort of stuff. You learn all those life lessons and they stick with you and those places stick with you. So
Wow.
Lincoln Park has a special meaning to many people. And there are a lot of folks inside the Spartanburg community. I want to shout out Luther Norman and Ed Epps. Ed has a fantastic book about the history of baseball in Spartanburg and the history of Duncan Park, which is definitely worth a read. It was the first thing I read when I got to Spartanburg because I wanted, just like you, Frankie, I wanted to immerse myself in the history and make sure that I
Yes.
knew, what the Spartanburgers were following. So I'm very thankful for them for providing their knowledge to us. And
Mhm.
Luther leads the Clean Up Duncan Park coalition. So we've partnered with them in the past to do a couple of events here and there, and we'll certainly keep that effort up with the mayor's office and with the city going forward. But since the Phillies were here, we want to honor Pat Williams, right? He was
Yes.
Yes, he was the GM of the Spartanburg Phillies, and he really, really got this town going for baseball back in the 60s. So we'll honor him with a bobblehead giveaway. He
Yes.
passed away, unfortunately, but his wife was the one that gave us the go-ahead for that, and we'll have the Duncan Park Stadium replica as well. And those things, again, just help us educate people that are coming to the ballpark on the history of
Yes.
Spartanburg and, just keep raising that awareness and keep Duncan Park in the forefront of people's minds.
And that's the thing about Pat Williams. I'm glad you mentioned him. I'm like, not only that he, put Spartanburg baseball on the map, I'm like, he was the first owner of the Orlando Magic,
Yeah.
and he was he was the founder of bringing Major League Baseball to Orlando. He
Hmm.
formed the Orlando Dreamers before he passed, and they're still pushing on bringing Orlando Major League Baseball in some ways or form. And so that is something that I think everyone should acknowledge because, he is an avid fan. He did so much contributing to the game of baseball and basketball too. But that is really commendable of what you're honoring who you're honoring. And one of the things I also like about this area in the upstate is you guys preserve your old stadiums. Greenville did it with Greenville Memorial, Unity Park. They completely transformed that. Mulberry Park, the two divided areas for it. It looks fantastic. That was originally Meadowbrook Park, and now Duncan Park. So you guys preserve what minor league baseball left. Normally, it would just be left abandoned and torn down, and that is like a thorn in my side about it. So I commend you guys in the upstate that you guys do this. And the COPA identity, I am very excited about it as a Puerto Rican. I have the Greenville Ranas, and I have I can't even pronounce the one from Asheville, but I have the hat for it. So I'm definitely going to get the hat for that one. So last question, and this is an easy one. Chip and flip.
Yeah.
My wife loves Chip, and the reason why is because she loves pickles. If you don't know who Chip is, that's one of the mascots. It's a baseball pickle, and then flip is a spatula, pretty much. So you have Chuck as the primary logo on the front. Are we going to see any type of alternate uniforms with those two dedicated to it, or hats dedicated to them?
Well, we definitely have Chip and Flip merch in the team store. Actually, I was just part of a photo shoot a couple days ago for our. We have a separate Instagram for Spartanburgers merchandise. If you don't follow us on social media, quick shameless plug, go do it.
Yes,
Facebook,
absolutely.
X, Instagram, Spartanburgers. On X, you need the underscore, but everything else, it's simple enough. We're the only Hub City Spartanburgers in the continental United States, so can't really miss us. And there's a separate Spartanburgers merchandise page where you can see everything we have to offer in the stores. And we got winter hats because it is pretty cold right now in the upstate. I'm from the north, so nothing like this really phases me. But for a lot of the native South Carolinians, it is pretty cold right now. So we've got toboggans, winter hats, whatever you want to call them, with pickles and with the flip spatula on it. So that you got your bases covered there. And we have plenty of other merch with Chip and Flip on them. As for uniforms, that's something I'm not really in the loop on for 2027, 2028 and beyond. But
I'll throw it out there.
those are great ideas. I mean, right now our plan is to keep Chuck as our primary mascot, and Sparkle, the Carolina parakeet.
Yeah, I forgot about Sparkle.
Is our other mascot. She was revealed in the middle of last season, and we had a whole naming contest for her. And one of my favorite parts of this naming contest is for every entry we took all the entries, and for every entry we gave money to the Greenville Wildlife Conservation Fund. So that was awesome. I love sort of taking these things and turning them into ways we can help others, help the community, make a positive impact with fan input. So that was great. And with all that, we don't have Chip or Flip really in physical form yet. There could be a chance, but again, those are well above my pay grade. And if
and it's down the line, it probably might be down the line.
If they happen, Frankie, I'll be just as pumped up and just as excited as you are for them. But honestly, the thing I'm most looking forward to this season is just baseball. Our first baseball game is not actually a Spartanburgers game. We've got South Carolina and Wofford playing here on February 17th. And so that is hopefully going to be a rousing crowd, probably a lot of Gamecock fans. The upstate's pretty split. Clemson, South Carolina, especially here in Spartanburg, it's pretty even. So I'm excited to see what kind of crowd we get for that. And then we got a college baseball tournament, and we have Upstate and Wofford, which was our first ever game at Fifth Third Park last year. We're running it back this year on March 10th. So really looking forward to those two games, and then the season starting afterwards.
Ian, thank you so much for your time. If you ever see me, I will wear my burger hat. This is one I got from Halloween to do and this was funny. My job actually did like the whole cast of SpongeBob. So they were trying to put me as Squidward. I didn't want to be Squidward. I didn't want to like do a full costume. I didn't really feel like at the time. And I was like, okay, guess what? I'll be a Krabby Patty. And I actually wore this to the Halloween thing for trick or treating. So if you ever see me, I'll be in this hat, and you can say hi, or I can say hi to you.
Absolutely. Will do. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the ballpark, Frankie.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ian. You've been an absolute pleasure, and we have to do this again at some point.
Yeah. Come out to the ballpark and we do a live one.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you. Best of luck to the Spartanburgers, and come out the Fifth Third. It is a wonderful experience. Thank you so much. This video is actually posted in February. We did this interview back in January, and I was talking about with Ian the January 14th reveal, and it's right over there. That's what it looks like. And I thought it was pretty cool, and I hope you enjoy it. I enjoyed talking with Ian. I'm looking forward to Spartanburger games. If you're in the area, hit me up. We can go to Spartanburger games together. My info is on my website, www.castellonms.com, www.castellonms.com. Everything Frankie. Take the survey. You might get a free hat out of this. I have that hat sitting right there, and I want to give it to somebody. Trust me, it should be you. Lastly, the sponsor I have here, which I just finished their cup right about now, is the Strong Coffee Company. The Strong Coffee Company is the healthiest way in order to start your day. Elevate your coffee routine with Strong Coffee Company's Black Instant Blend and Lattes. Both feature organic coffee, protein, MCTs, and adaptogens for sustained energy and mental clarity. And trust me, I need it. Starting every day is rough as you get older, and guess what? I needed to start off right to start my day and take on the world as it may be. I'm ready to take on the world. Enjoy this exclusive discount with my promo code. So if you go on to the Strong Coffee Company's website, enter my promo code stating BS. You get 20% off any item that is using my promo code stating BS on your order per item, 20% off. This is something that is exclusive to you, strongcoffeecompany.com, and I hope you enjoy your strong coffee as I do. Other than that, take a look at my previous episodes, my previous interviews. I have close to 20 episodes, and I'm very excited on doing more. I'm probably going to be talking about prediction marketing. I'm probably going to be talking about Tinkerfield in Orlando, what happened, talking about the future of advertising, sports advertising. The list goes on and on of what I can talk about. And I would love to do more and more interviews, and most likely I will. You're going to be seeing them down the pipeline. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed my other episodes. And hey, hit me up. I'm always available. I get busy sometimes with life, but guess what? I'm always going to make time to talk some BS, or specifically stadium BS that gets me really angry about. Then I do want to talk about the business of sports, baseball, whichever. Sports in general, football, hockey, basketball, what's wrong and what's right. That's why I formed Stadium BS. You have yourself a wonderful day. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Thank you for watching and listening to Stadium BS. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and give a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform.